Welcome to the football fill-in. Newcastle smashed 8 past Sheffield United. Wes Fodringham, I feel your pain, mate. I'm really, really sorry about that. Anyway, Chelsea, Mauricio Pochettino. At the start of the season was 150 to 1 to be the first manager sacked. He is now just 16 to 1, the same odds as Erik ten Hag. Surely this cannot happen. An entertaining 2-2 draw in the North London derby. And Brighton just keep winning, don't they? Brighton are Brightoning, baby. It's a football fill-in. All right, boys, welcome to the show. Mark, Man United won, you're happy. I can see you got a smile on your face. Big Dave Watson, my favourite goalkeeper coach of all time. How are we, lads? We all right?
Good, yeah.
Very good, mate.
Good weekend?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Enjoyed the football?
Yeah.
Football, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Weekend.
We're going to start with the North London derby, lads. I love this game. Did you know I was a Spurs fan as a kid?
Yes.
Did you know this?
No.
Anyway, I was a Spurs fan as a kid. As you get older, you kind of have to, you're playing, you have to lose that kind of stuff, don't you? But it is the way it is. But I still look forward to the North London derby, and it didn't disappoint. It was a proper game of football, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, I think that I think Spurs came out of it with more than Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal fans would wake up this morning and go, bloody hell, we're the home team. And look, deflected goal, penalty. Spurs scored 2 good goals, dominated the possession. He took Son off with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah.
I think that Spurs come away from that with a message that they are not pretenders. They're here to mix it up. And, I think if they can keep... I was a bit worried when Maddison went down with his knee because I think that's the sort of thing that's going to hurt Spurs. They haven't got European football, so they're buzzing. And they were really confident. They didn't lose their heads when they went 1-0 down. They thoroughly deserved a point. I think a point probably was the right result, but I think it was a great game. And I think, as I say, I think Arsenal at the moment, Arteta's almost trying to be too clever. I like the goalkeeper switch, but the Havertz thing at half-time, didn't get that. I just think he's overcomplicating things, Arsenal, and that's why Spurs were better.
I'm going to ask you about yours in a minute, Watto, but talking about Maddison, that injury, Gary Neville got this spot on, by the way. He's commentating on the game, and I was watching it, and I went, oh, that don't look nice. And even Gary Neville went, oh, yeah, that could be naughty, that. So in my head, I'm thinking, from what he's done, he's either just jarred it, basically overextended it and jarred it, or he might have done his cruciate, because that's the movement, isn't it, where you do your cruciate. You'll know just as well as me. And Gary Neville came out and said it straight away. He went, do you know what? I think he might have just sort of jarred it, just overextended it, and it shocks you, because your knee is not used to being in that sort of like, overlocked position, and it does. It sends a shudder through your body. And I think James Maddison was sitting there thinking, what the hell has just happened to me? Thankfully, he looked like he'll be all right, and he should be all right going forward, because he was incredible in that game on Sunday, wasn't he?
I mean, he had a real proper performance. He had that one moment where he got away with it because he nearly gave a penalty away and he blazed it over the bar, because it can be a game changer then, but it just shows you...
He should have scored that.
It just shows you his mentality.
Yeah.
He didn't hide having had a real bad moment there, kept getting the ball, and ultimately he is running the show for Spurs. I think if he would have picked up a real bad injury, would have a big impact on their season, because he started like a Rolls Royce for him. But again, we talk about Ange ball. It's been a breath of fresh air. I mean, the cultural change from a Conte to what Spurs fans are actually seeing now. I mean, they're rocking up to home and away games, just absolutely loving what they're seeing. And I think that's the excitement and joy we should all feel as a football fan.
Yeah.
And maybe not have to suffer the Contes of this world playing a certain way. But I think Spurs have really got into the rhythm, had a really unbelievable start. It's the first time they've had a point there for a while, so I think he's changed the whole culture and philosophy overnight.
I saw Paul Merson say on the Saturday, I was watching him on Soccer Saturday, and he said, if Spurs think they can turn up to Arsenal and play this Ange style of football where they just play his way of football, he said, Arsenal will just steamroll, Arsenal will just run all over. And I'm thinking, what? Like, what world do you live in where you think this is possibly going to happen? So I was so buzzing to watch that game thinking, yeah, man, he is just stuck to what he knows best. And it's like, boys, no, this is how we play, and this is what we're doing. It's as simple as that.
Well, there were two teams playing proper football, but actually Arsenal probably thought their brand of football might well have won the day, but Spurs have just got it at the moment. And like a lot of things you've mentioned, like an own goal, penalty that you're thinking, but nothing changes. They're not phased, home or away. And, hey, look, at one point somebody might, give them a good hiding. But at the minute, they look like they're on the real curve and trajectory that Spurs fans have been wanting for a while.
It was a reality bite for Arsenal. I think they think they're better than they are because of what they did last season, and they were brilliant last season, and they deserved all the plaudits they got. But I look at that Arsenal side at the moment. I don't like the midfield when he brings Havertz on. The balance has gone. Odegaard disappeared in the second half. That doesn't work. I'd have kept Vieira on. I think Rice came off injured, which you've got to do. And then I think they're carrying Nketiah. I don't think he's good enough. I think with that front three, that front three is nowhere near as good as what Liverpool have got, what Spurs have got, what Man City have got. I think Nketiah is okay, but would he start for Everton? I don't know. Probably would.
Well, if we're saying that, he's in big trouble.
But I don't think he's a top 6 striker, and yet he's starting too many games, and that's no criticism of him. That's a criticism of Arsenal. That if you're it's like United when they were picking Weghorst every week, and Nketiah is better than Weghorst, of course, but he is not. They're carrying a player, and the fluidity of that team in the midfield and the attack isn't there, and then that's making the defence more vulnerable. So Arsenal just are not balanced at the moment.
I think I agree with you. I think he's a decent player, but you're not going to win a league title with Eddie Nketiah.
You want him off the bench for 20 minutes or playing against, Luton at home or something like that. You don't want him playing in the North London derby down the middle. You want Jesus down the middle and Martinelli or Trossard, but they're injured. So I'm not blaming Arsenal, but if they're looking for why they didn't play as well yesterday and why Spurs came to the Emirates and had more possession, it's because Spurs have got a better balanced team at the moment and it works. And Arsenal look like to be honest, Havertz is the problem. I just think it's boring to talk about it. I don't get why they bought him. The balance isn't there. I'd rather see him as the number 9 than in the midfield, destroying Odegaard's game.
70 million quid as well, mate. Goalkeepers, I know everybody talks about this and it's been talked to death, but just quickly, David Raya, talk to me about his performance. I want to talk about Vicario as well in a minute because I really like this goalkeeper, but talk to me about David Raya's performance.
Yeah, look, we've spoke before. I think coming into play for Arsenal is a different level, not being disrespectful to Brentford, but he's had the experience to come and show it. But because they've got 2 number 1s, he's under pressure straight away because you can't make a semi-mistake. Yeah. But he made an unbelievable save yesterday. We can argue the rights and wrongs of whether Ramsdale clapping him is... But when you're not in the team, there's a camera right on your face.
That looks so fake to me.
You've got two choices.
You've got two... You're hamstrung, mate. You are. You're hamstrung. You either sit there and wallow in it and be like, yeah, brilliant. Or you kind of put on a bit of a brave face and go, you know what, yeah, it was a good save.
But watching it, I think everybody knows we might do it, but you're going... Yeah, but in your heart, you're devastated, aren't you? And quite rightly you are.
Yeah, but he knows because obviously we're talking about it now because it's a hot topic that he's got a camera on his face in that game. Yeah. So whether he makes the moment like that or Raya actually has a blooper, there's a camera on his face because they want to see what he does. And it's not a nice feeling, is it, to have that in your face?
I think mentality, I think he should be England number 1, but it's never going to happen now because he's not Arsenal's number 1, but I prefer Raya. But I do feel for him because the message that Arteta's put out publicly is not the reality. The reality is what we've been discussing. He's going to pick a number 1 and he's going to stick with it. And it's been Everton, Champions League and North London Derby, Raya. Yeah,
there's no comeback from that.
No. Well, I think he will rotate it, but if you're going to rotate it, then he should have played in the Champions League game, and he didn't.
What does Ramsdale need to do then? What does he need to do? Because we've got a World Cup coming up.
He's got to move, mate. He's got to move in January.
European Championships.
But he has to move in January because to have any chance of competing with Pickford, he's got to be playing. Yeah. But if you're not in the starting 11 at your club, you're not really going to get picked for England.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. Harry Maguire and Calvin Phillips.
I know, but that's a different story. That's a different story. Goalkeeping's different.
No, you're right. Pickford probably doesn't get picked for Everton and still gets picked for England. But no, I think Ramsdale might come back into the team. But I think if he does, it'll be because of a mistake. I think Arteta's playing with fire if he starts changing the goal.
You get back to the same point. There's 2. It's a big club, of course, but they're 2 number 1s. You cannot satisfy that. No. At every club, there's a certain drop-off. There has to be. Yeah. Because Alisson at Liverpool,
it just has to
Edison at Man City, there's a pecking order and that's the way it is. Yeah. When you go on the training field to do your drills, don't you? The number 1 is number 1 in the goal.
Yeah, goes first.
Monday morning, you'll go in first.
Wednesday morning.
Friday for you, mate. Friday for you.
Yeah, I'll turn out on a Friday. Vicario, I want to talk about Vicario quickly. Yeah, but I think he's gone under the radar this season for me at Tottenham. He I really like the look of this goalie. Like, I mean, really like the good look of him. I think he just goes about his business. Everything that he does seems to just be absolutely bob on. He's making saves, passes the ball out lovely, he looks calm and composed. He just, for a what is he, 22, 23 years old? Yeah. He looks like the
Well, he looks a
it?
snip, doesn't he? What did they pay? 17 and a half
not
million,
a lot.
something like that. So fair play to the recruitment in terms of they've done their own work there, looked at him, and we've spoke a lot for varying positions in the Premier League to come in and hit the ground running. But he's hit the ground running, and he looks the real deal. Made a couple of real big saves in the game yesterday, but he's not fazed by it.
Yeah, just calm and composed, isn't he? Calm and composed. We like that. And quickly, I want to talk about this Bukayo Saka celebration. We've got a clip for you to show. So obviously he scored the goal, scored the penalty, and he's copied Maddison's little celebration. Do you want to do it? Do you want to give it a go? What's your dart throwing technique like? Well, you ain't hitting the board ever, mate.
I'll give you a triple 20.
We've got a dartboard in there. None of you are hitting 20. Anyway, it was nice. It's like this is the kind of stuff we want. It just shows the personality of the players a little bit.
Yeah, you've got to show yourself up.
Yeah, we like that, don't we? Anyway, right, we're going to move it on. Newcastle. I know you watched this game last night. It was It was painful to watch, wasn't it? Quickly,
I felt it a couple of times.
Just say a few words for Wes Foderingham. How you feel? This morning.
Playing in goal myself, I've had a couple of big defeats. I think I had a 7 at Man United. It's not nice, and when you feel as though you really can't do much about any of the goals, it's even worse. It takes a certain character to be able to just come back and think, right, it's just got to put it to bed and leave it alone. It's a horrible feeling playing in it, and I've sat on the side coaching with big defeats. I had a 9 at Man United and a 9 against Leicester, but it's. You know, you can see it all happening. You can see the players in front of you. They're dying. I'm dying on the bench. You just want you want the match to stop. You know, like, and when did they put 6 minutes up yesterday?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, just
stop it there.
Just stop there. The pain's enough for everybody. I hope he can come back, and I hope they can come back, because they've been in every game, and yet yesterday everything Newcastle hit went in the goal.
So how does it work this morning then? What will Sheffield United be doing? Are they in their training this morning? Are they going to have like a big old meeting about it? They're going to watch the game back and pick it apart? How does it work?
I think if you get beat 2-1, 3-1, I think you can really dissect it. I saw the manager's interview after the game, and I think he was a little bit disappointed in terms of what he believed were the effort and the first and second ball contacts. And that's probably why he feels they lost the game, because they never got in the game. Where all the other games, people know it's a tough game against Sheffield United because you're getting what you're getting. But I think he felt as though their levels in terms of first and second balls and running stats dropped off a bit. And ultimately, if you have such a drop-off, you're not necessarily going to be on the end of an 8-0, but you're certainly looking at 4 or 5.
So what are they doing this morning, running then?
I think this morning, if it were, there's no point watching that video.
Yeah.
That is just another slow death on a Monday morning. I think it's, lads, that's got to be a one-off, and let's get back to work. Recovery for you lads that played. Rest of you, we're going to go out and have a good session.
Mark, what do you make of Newcastle? Are Newcastle top 4? Are they top 4 certs this season?
No, I think they're in with Brighton, Villa, Man United, Spurs. I think Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool will be the top 3, and then a big battle
it's a tough old
for 4th
group of
place.
Teams, that.
I think under normal circumstances, maybe last year you'd say they're a shoe-in, but there seems to be a real good collection. Did I say Brighton as well? I might have missed them. I think there's a collection of teams that are, you know, really buzzing, and Newcastle, after a difficult start, and they had a tough set of fixtures. You called it, didn't you? You said that you could see an absolute drubbing for Sheffield United. I mean, you've got to put it into context. Sheffield United and Luton are crap, with all due respect. They're a long, long way off the levels needed, and I think they'll get beat by, you know, West Hams and teams like that. But no, Newcastle will be up there, just into the Champions League. Eddie Howe's doing a good job, we know.
Do you know what I really like about Newcastle? Because I think there's probably only 2 teams that can go and do what Newcastle did yesterday. Newcastle and Man City. I don't think anybody else keeps working at the work rate of what Newcastle did yesterday. I genuinely believe that. Because
that's then the culture, isn't it?
The manager exactly, that's what it is the culture from the very top down to the bottom. So with 6 minutes to go, right? So all I'm doing is looking at my fantasy Premier League team, yeah? I've got Sven Botman in defence, right? He's got a goal, sorry. He's got the clean sheet there. And I'm thinking, 6 minutes, don't do this, because if they let a goal in here, he loses his clean sheet bonus, right? So I'm watching it thinking, Look at them Newcastle players get back and defend. Look at them all. They're still blocking shots. They're still throwing their everything in front of stuff. Yeah. Then they're getting forward. Then they're getting back. And the work rate. And I'm just thinking that is a thing to behold, because there isn't. You're not going to see that from a Man United, you know.
But they have got a reputation for having a good defence as well, haven't they? Yeah. So their defence will be very focused on that clean sheet. You know, the attack will be over the moon with 8 goal scorers and 8-0. But you can guarantee Pope and Botman, Trippier, and everyone will be like, we want that.
The
clean
proper characters. We need that clean sheet. But I think it was a big test as well for Newcastle, having had that Champions League game in the week. Because that's the first time.
And they weren't good in that.
They have the double-header, and, I mean, Pope kept them in the game in the week. They
should have been battered.
Should have been battered, but yeah, you get on a flight back from Milan, turn up at Sheffield United on a Sunday, and absolutely demolish them, you know. Good mentality.
I've got a good stat for you. Kieran Trippier is only the second player in Premier League history, to assist 3-headed goals in a single game. He's assisted 3 headers on Sunday. Who's the other player? Don't look at the screen, all right? Stop cheating.
Oh, I'm not looking. I reckon it might be Jason Punchin.
You're such a dickhead.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing. Yeah. I got that.
That's lovely, though, that is, isn't it? And that's another thing.
You'd never guess that, would you?
You're never guessing that, never. But, like, Kieran Trippier, when he came out, I think he came off in the 70th minute, but whoever comes on in his place is just doing exactly the same job. This is what I really like about Newcastle. And I sat there with my son yesterday watching it as well, and he said, how are they doing so well, Dad, with this bunch of players? And I looked at it and I thought, actually, do you know what? If you look at it on paper, you've got your Longstaffs and...
He's very clever, though, isn't he?
It's just the way that they play, though,
he
is incredible.
He buys the right players.
The right characters.
The Gordons, the Barnes, the Trippiers, the Burns, they're all... The Longstaffs, the Willocks, they're all
good, solid citizens.
Not Longstaffs.
They're not the
seasoned professionals. They're not they know the level.
They know the Premier League, and they want that shot, don't they? And they've obviously got that personality,
that hunger and
desire. That's then a key to their recruitment. Yeah. I'm not going to sign that 150 million.
It's a bit like Brighton.
That might, or a few of these at Chelsea that might not want to run too far.
Yeah.
I'll get these on board and create what we want to create, and away you go.
Well, they've got Brighton's ex-director of football, haven't they, as well? And it makes sense.
Dan Ashworth, he knows what he's doing. By the way, that's no slight on Longstaff, by the way. I really like him. He's a Sean Longstaff, isn't it?
Yeah. No, but he's come up through the ranks, is what the point
That's what I mean. You can tell he means a lot to him. So he gives him everything.
Black and white running through him, pal.
Black and white running through him, pal. I've got a question for you guys. Who is the best striker in the world at this moment in time?
Haaland.
Haaland is only one, isn't it?
Best striker, that's it. You don't. If you through 1-on-1, who are you picking? You're picking Haaland. Simple as that.
I think Harry Kane.
Simple as that. Yeah.
Harry Kane pushes him. Lewandowski pushes him, but it's boring, isn't it? It's like captaining him in your FPL. He is the best.
You know, you
almost want to wander and find someone else.
You're disappointed actually this weekend. Only one against Forest.
I was disappointed because he's my captain in Fantasy Premier League. There is a new top striker in Europe at this moment in time, though, with 10 goals in 5 games. Stuttgart striker Seru Gerazi. That's not bad going, that, to be fair. 10 goals in 5 games. Harry Kane scored a hat-trick at the weekend. Remember when I said that Man United, there's a striker that you should sign, Harry Kane? Do you remember that?
I do, and it's nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
It's nonsense. Even Watto will back me up on this. I keep hearing it every weekend. It's such lazy punditry, and you're better than this. You've been up this morning doing your bike ride. You don't need to be lazy.
They were never going to be sold to a Premier League team.
No.
Do you honestly believe that? Yeah.
Of course we do.
It's such a non-story. Yes, I'd love Man United to sign Harry Kane, and Harry Kane might like to come to United, but they were never selling him to Man United, Chelsea, nobody.
I'm not so sure, you know.
Never.
I think if Harry Kane kicks up a stink and goes, no, listen, I'm going, you know I'm going to go, and I want to go to Manchester United, I think he can go.
No.
Maybe if Dan Ashworth were at Man United.
If Dan Ashworth today, it sorts it out. Anyway, just talking about a few of the other strikers. Lewandowski, 5 goals, 3 assists in 6 games in La Liga. Haaland, that was his 44th Premier League goal at the weekend. Mbappe scored 7 goals in 4 in the Farmers League.
I fancy that. I fancy 7. 7 in 4?
Come on.
I reckon, genuinely, stick me up top for PSG. I'd score you 5
get
or 6.
one.
I'd score 5 or 6 a season. Come on, are you taking the mick? Watto, one question.
One question.
There you go. I'm 1-0 up.
Oh, yeah, you got it right last week, didn't you?
Hey, this week is a beauty.
Oh, let's have a little look. See what we got. Come on.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we are. Come on.
This question better be all fur and no knickers.
Fur coat, no knickers. Can it? But everybody, can you just get in the comments down below, right? If you understand what the phrase fur coat, no knickers means. Because I said it on Mark's what was it, United Stand? No, it was on, it was on United Stand earlier, wasn't it? I said, it's all just a bit fur coat, no knickers, really. And what, it's the saying, isn't it?
It's the same, yeah. It's a bit like this question, actually.
All right, come on, give us that anyway.
I hope it's the answer.
Here we go. Who was the first Premier League goalkeeper to score a goal?
Pete Schmeichel.
Correct.
Do you know what? I'm proud of myself there. Do you know why? Because I could have jumped in with a Paul Robinson or a Tim Howard or something like that. But I thought, do you know what? I'm going to think back a little bit. And I remember, was he at Blackburn? I can't remember.
No, Goodison Park.
Everton. I knew it was blue. See,
Volley won it.
I knew it was blue. Schmeichel. Damn, that's good.
1-1.
Yes.
1-1. Well, at least it was a Man United question and a goalkeeping question.
Yeah, he is both.
He is both.
But you're a Man United fan.
Yeah, but I didn't play in goal for Man United.
Right, I want to talk, lads, about the newly promoted teams this season, okay?
Crap.
Obviously, yeah. Well, you have your view on it,
Worst
Mark.
ever.
So, no, I disagree with that, and I will disagree with that, because I'll tell you why, because I think Burnley have got a fighting chance of staying up. I watched them against Man United, like you did, and I actually quite like the look of them. I thought they were unlucky to lose the game. The other two teams, Luton, first point on the board at the weekend. You can see they've got battlers and they've got scrappers, and that's how they're going to approach it this season. Sheffield United they look in bad trouble, because for me, if you can down tools like that at home, doesn't matter who you're playing, you're in trouble. You are massively in trouble. What do you make of the three teams? Am I right in what I've just said there?
I think you're right about Burnley. I actually thought Burnley did okay against Man City opening day, but they've got no cutting edge, and I saw that against United. I think they've got a fighting chance. Luton and Sheffield United, I mean, look, whether it was a penalty or not, you're at home, they're down to 10 men, they've got to win that game. You know, Wolves are going to be down there. If you can't win them games, I genuinely think Luton and Sheffield United will struggle to get 25 points, which is embarrassing. I know
between them?
Well, maybe.
That would be embarrassing.
I mean, they're going to get 10. I know Derby had that record. Is it 8 or something like that? They should get double figures, but I can't see them. The relegation battle last year was brilliant. I think those two will be gone by Easter.
Who else do you think is going to be down there with them then?
Probably is Burnley, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe Wolves, because Everton look like they've turned it around with a result. I think the thing is, I'd be interested to see what you think, having been down there with clubs before like Southampton. I think that even if you put Everton and Wolves and Bournemouth and Forest down there, they're wily. They're experienced. Whereas Sheffield United, Burnley and Luton don't, and I think that's got to be worth points.
I agree. I watched the game Saturday night against Man United, and I think there's a team in the making at Burnley.
Yeah.
They need some goals, which is obviously the hardest thing and the most expensive in terms of where you go for your recruitment. But he's building a team there. I do somehow think that they're going to get over the line. I think they're doing enough, and Burnley is normally a tough place for most teams to go. They've had tough fixtures at home, haven't they? They've had City, Tottenham, and United.
Really
so the home games, they've not had the ones where you're thinking, yes, you've got to win this one or whatever. Luton, exactly the same. Look, it's the worst decision I've seen all season, the penalty that got them a point against Wolves. But Wolves are down to 10 men. You have to win.
You have to just push on that, though.
Yeah.
You have to push it. You'd almost rather lose that game than not look yourself in the mirror and go, we went for that. We really went for that.
A draw's no good there.
And they've drawn off a dodgy penalty as well.
Yeah, it's the worst decision of the season.
Oh, mate, this penalty, this VAR thing, lads.
It cannot happen, boys. It cannot
But
happen.
handball, right, just quickly, just to try and quantify this, it literally is the worst penalty I've ever seen given in my life, right? There's nothing that lad can do at that moment. No. It hits his knee, and within less than 0.000 of a second, it brushes off his arm, and he gives the penalty for it. The Anthony Gordon cutback on Sunday night, where it's nearly bounced out of play, bounced up, hit his hand, and then he's cut it back and they've scored. They've allowed the goal to stand, right? If that shoe is on the other foot and that's a defender whose hand it is hit, it's a penalty, isn't it? You agree? So how can they do that? How is that allowed?
When I saw that penalty decision, I was...
The Wolves one?
Yeah, I'm lost for football because he's at full stretch. He's got his leg here. You can't put your leg there and not have your arms up in the air.
He's stretched out.
And it's whacked his calf. In a millisecond, it's flown into his hand. It's honestly impossible. And the rules state that if it changes direction, it cannot be a penalty.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's a penalty. So we're talking Luton should have won the game. In the end, they're lucky to get a point. Wolves have had a shocking decision there. That's 2 points. Man United, first day of the season, they should have had another point. So we're saying they might be in the fight. They might be in the fight, but that's 3 points gone.
Yeah.
They've been mid-table.
Yeah, true that.
And Howard Webb phoning up when managers get sacked or Wolves are going down.
Lovely,
That really helps you, doesn't it?
Cheers,
on a
Howard.
Monday morning.
Really appreciate that.
Thanks for that one, mate.
Quickly, just want to look at the next manager to be sacked odds, and we don't ever like to see any managers get sacked. Sorry, Paul Heckingbottom at Sheffield United is 1-2 favourite, and then 12-1 you've got Gary O'Neill and Sean Dyche, Maurizio Pochettino, Eric Ten Hag, and Rob Edwards at 16-1. I have to scroll down a little bit to see Vinny Company in there. 25-1.
That's a joke.
Do you think what? Do you think he should be more or less than that?
I think Ten Hag on the same as bloody Poch is laughable. He's got £1 billion squad. They've got 5 points from 6 games. Chelsea. I mean, look, it's a tough job, Chelsea, but I'll have it. I'll take on £1 billion.
But Eric Ten Hag came in with all these promises of playing this lovely football, this attacking, this expansive.
Third in
and
the
I ain't
league.
seen any of it yet.
Third in the league, won a trophy.
Are Man United third in the league?
No, we were third in the
Right,
league.
yeah. You
Won a
can't say
trophy.
that. They were first in the league once, in about 1999.
What trophy have they won?
Carabao Cup. and massive injury. He ain't going nowhere, Ten Hag. You can put your pressure onto Pochettino because he's a. Watto said they were going to be good. I said they won't be good.
Quickly, we're gonna move on to Brighton in a minute. I want to talk about Brighton because I love watching this team, by the way. And I think for me, they're one team who I can rely. If I was doing a coupon, do you remember the old school coupons where you had to predict like your ACCAs, your accumulators?
Yeah.
Brighton at home for me would be one of the teams I would.
The pools.
They would, the pools. The pools. I would 100% put Brighton in there because I know what I'm going to get from them. They're so predictable, so good. Quickly, after 6 games, this is what the table looks like. Man City, obviously, 6 out of 6. Are they going to go undefeated this season?
I think it'll be very, very difficult to do it, but I think if they do it, they'll do it better than the 12 draws Arsenal did it with.
Yeah, that's probably their next big thing, isn't it? I think we were talking about earlier. They've won the treble. They're winning the league year in, year out. Is the next big thing for them to do this?
This is more than Arsenal.
I would say it's a tougher time to try and do it.
Yeah.
But Guardiola, when you're chasing and trying to motivate sometimes the unmotivatable.
Yeah.
What's your little bit behind it when you've started this season? Hey, come on, we've just matched Man United. We've done the treble, which were the holy grail. So what's the only other holy grail in the Premier League?
Other than a quadruple, it would be getting that Invincibles.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot tougher to do it. And I'm like you, I don't think they'll draw so many games. But that might be just a little private one in-house. Can we do it this year,
This
guys?
year, though, if you look at it, you've got St James's Park's difficult, Villa Park's difficult,
Yes. Brighton's
difficult,
Liverpool,
Spurs, Arsenal. Old Trafford will be difficult because it's the derby.
Yes.
It's not like when Arsenal did it.
But if you could do it, I mean,
it would be
you're
better.
like immortal, aren't you? Let's be having it anyway.
Quickly, like I say, I'm gonna run through the league in a minute. Did you know that only once in Premier League history have all 3 promoted teams gone straight back down? What year was that? Do you want me to tell you?
Yep.
To tell you? I don't know this, by the way. I'll act like I know all this kind of
Was
stuff.
it the Derby did it?
No, it was 1997-98 season.
Painful year in my life.
Barnsley,
Painful.
Palace and Bolton. And guess who was in goal for Barnsley at that moment in time? Watto with his gammy knee. That's why they went
Only
down.
7 at Old Trafford, though, Mark. Only 7.
The rest of the Premier League table, 2nd Liverpool, 3rd Brighton, 15 points from 6 games, by the way, 5 out of 6, that's incredible. Tottenham in 4th, Arsenal 5th, Villa 6th, West Ham 7th, Newcastle 8th, Manchester United 9th. Kind of what you'd expect, really. You'd expect them 9 teams really to be up there, wouldn't you? So it kind of played out the way it is.
Competitive.
And then Chelsea, 14th position. Wow. Right, I said I want to talk about Brighton. How impressive are this team, Mark? They are. If you were a Brighton fan at this moment in time, you should be feeling so much pride at going to that Amex Stadium and watching that team do what they do, wouldn't you?
Well, I was disappointed because I had Mitoma in my team, and I was surprised that they lost in the Europa League on Thursday, and then it's on 1-1, comes on at half-time, scores, bang, bang. You can rotate that team, and it's incredible what they do, and I think that obviously they beat United comprehensively last week. That was very, very impressive. And even though they beat United and they did a TikTok of me, I still like Brighton.
You can't not like Brighton,
I still
surely.
like Brighton.
If you love football, you're loving Brighton, ain't you?
It might even be at the expense of Man United, so I wouldn't want that to happen, but it would be great for football if Brighton got Champions League football.
Oh, wouldn't it just? So they had the first European match in the week. I think they lost it, didn't they? Was it 3-2? Which was a bit of a surprise, to be perfectly honest with you. But, again, this is very similar to the Newcastle thing, where you don't really know how it's going to affect the team, do you? You're travelling away in Europe in the week, and then all of a sudden you've got your Premier League game on the Saturday, on the Sunday, and Brighton, same as Newcastle, showed that they're not tired. They have no ill effects or side effects from everything. Turned up and they've gone and won again. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, the 1-0 down in no time because the philosophy is the philosophy. The goalie gets caught playing high outside his box and it allowed Bournemouth to get a decent press on and it's 1-0, but nothing changes, no phases. Obviously, Matoma then comes off, but they're the real deal, aren't they? I mean, let's be honest. The only surprise was that it took him 15 seconds to score when Bournemouth kicked off. I couldn't quite get my head around that.
That's criminal. If you're Bournemouth manager...
Absolutely. It's 1-1 half time.
Sorry, not Gary Neal. Who's the manager of Bournemouth nowadays?
The other one.
It's a new one.
God, that's poor from you, lot. You've got to know who the Bournemouth manager is.
I know who it is. I can't pronounce it.
It's Pato or something.
No, it isn't Pato. He used to play for AC Milan back in the day. Andoni Iraola. Andoni Iraola.
He's a wish De Zerbi, isn't he?
No, to be fair, De Zerbi were quite complimentary of him. He said because he thought that they'd set up well and give him a tougher game.
I can't remember his name.
But again, it's what the tools you're left with. But ultimately, what we're talking about, Matoma comes on, you kick off, you can't concede.
That can't happen, can it?
You can't kick off, conceding 15 seconds.
You'll be fuming.
Yeah, these are the kind of things where you will have a team meeting on the Monday morning, and that will be the first thing that you get.
It's disrespectful to the manager, isn't it?
It's everything. The fans, everything. They're still getting their pies. They're still, you know what I mean? They haven't even made their way to the seats yet, and they can hear a roar from the opposite. It's you'll be absolutely fuming. I want to talk about some derbies, world derbies at the minute, because it's been a weekend of interesting derbies, we put it like that. Some massive ones around the world. We're going to start with Ajax versus Feyenoord, lads. It was 3-0 to Feyenoord at the time, 55 minutes. Fireworks were getting thrown onto the pitch. Game abandoned. PSG battered them 4-0, which is a bit of a problem for Marseille. The fans there, they don't like stuff like that, by the way. Anderlecht versus Club Bruges in Belgium. One apiece. Oh, look at this, by the way. 2 former Premier League goalkeepers. Who are they? 2 former Premier League goalkeepers.
I've already read it.
Oh, my God. What's the point of doing this? You're going to have to hide them from him here, by the way. Casper Schmeichel and Simon Mignolet. Oh, my God. We did a podcast with Ben Wilson the other day, Coventry City goalkeeper. Yeah. And we spoke about shot stopping and if we had to build our best goalkeeper. Do you know who we picked as shot stopper?
Mignolet.
Simon Mignolet. And I half see what he's saying, you know. I do. I half see what you're saying.
I would have to disagree on that.
Go on. Who would you say?
Shot stopper, I would have probably gone for Courtois.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
You can't argue with that.
No, I won't argue with that. I think you're right.
Both Belgium as well.
I always thought Mignolet dropped a little bit.
Got
beat too high.
It was the one where Jajalka scored that volley for Everton, wasn't it?
There's a few where he got a bit low.
Yeah, okay. I'm with
Anyway, that's another conversation.
Yeah, sorry, Ben, maybe wrong.
Playing for Coventry.
Proper goalie you are, Ben. Lovely lad as well, by the way. Hey, man, Lakeman. Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid in the Madrid derby. Atletico 3-1 winners.
Since Ten Hag went at left, it's
well,
all gone
it's
wrong.
not even just Ten Hag.
No, they were bad last year as well.
They sell about 5 or 6 of their players for about 300 million every season.
But they've just lost it. They've been sacking people after that game, left, right, and centre.
That's wrong, though. That game should be played behind closed doors for half an hour.
I totally agree. That if I'm a Feyenoord team here, I'm fuming with that.
You've got to give them the game, man. Yeah.
Of course you give them.
At the very least,
it stays as is. 3-0 finished.
Right, lads, we're going to go into the quiz a minute, and I know we've been a bit all over the shop today, but quickly before we go, Manchester United, just want to do a little bit of chat on them, and Jonny Evans in particular. What a big fan of Jonny Evans, aren't we?
Absolutely. I mean, he's had an unbelievable career, yeah. But then to have reinvented himself, as in leaving a relegated team, he knows what it's like to play for Man United. You know what it's like to play for Man United. It's a certain personality, it's a certain character. And to turn up on a Saturday night, 8 o'clock, the set-up to fail Man United on that game, it's all there against him, and he's just, Rolls-Royce performance. If he could have had his goal as well, it'd have been great. But I'm telling you, the pass that he makes for the goal is equally as good as pass that Rodri makes for Kyle Walker's run, for Foden's goal for City. Incredible. I don't really know the guy. I just like him as a footballer and a professional footballer that's done his time. And it's nice to see somebody towards the end of it still and loving the moment, enjoying it,
appreciating it.
And I appreciated watching it.
I love that.
I can't believe. Well, Bruno gave him the Man of the Match award, but I can't believe he didn't get the Man of the Match award in the first place because Bruno scored a worldie. But we're better than that, aren't we? We don't give man of the match awards just because someone scores a world.
No, we do. That's what we do nowadays. Yeah, that's what.
That's an easy one. That
well, they do it on the mainstream, don't they?
So.
I grew up with that. Actually, you're right. You know, someone scores a good goal. Forget the guy who's played well for 90 minutes.
Yeah. Forget the goalie who's made 7 matches.
7 saves.
Yeah. We'll just give it to the guy that scored the goal. Pathetic is what it is. Right, quiz lads, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're 2 each, by the way, me and you, Mark.
And clean sheet for the goalie coach.
Well, you've kept a clean sheet so far.
Thank you.
All right, Jiminy, 10 questions. Let's go.
Right, ready. Question number 1. Who was the first player to win 4 Player of the Month awards in a calendar year?
Ronaldo.
Harry Kane.
No.
Torre.
No, Bruno Fernandes.
I was going to say it.
This was in 2020.
Wow.
Oh, bollocks.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, but I thought, nah, surely not.
That's a good question, that.
Damn it.
Yeah, but there's been some good plays. You think somebody's going to have done it before Bruno Fernandes, eh?
Question 2.
No goalie.
Who scored a brace for the first time for his club this weekend?
Mitoma.
Correct.
Yes, good one.
That's his first brace.
Yeah, he scored 13 goals for Brighton and all of them been like single goals. Yeah.
I'm too blurry today.
Wow, Watto's got a point. Watto's off the
I
mark.
know, 1-0.
Get
This
this
never
off,
happened.
Get this off here because it's putting me off now.
This never happened.
Question 3. Which team shared Selhurst Park with Crystal Palace
Wimbledon.
from 1991 to 2003? Wimbledon is the correct answer.
Pathetic question.
Charlton have also shared Selhurst Park with them too.
Wimbledon's
Good
the answer.
stats, good stats though. Jay.
Thanks. So 1-0, 1.
Good Jay, good match.
Question 4. Thierry Henry has the highest record of goals scored by a Frenchman in the Premier League, but who is second?
Lacazette?
No.
Giroud.
No.
Oh, good guess. As if it was Lacazette. Fuck.
I know, yeah. No
French
chance.
Charlie Austin? No
Yeah,
chance.
for about 6 weeks he was.
French goal scorer.
It's going to be
5,
something we're going to really...
4.
Jean-Pierre
said
Papin.
Ginola.
Jean-Pierre Papin.
Ginola, he said.
No. It's Nicolas Anelka.
Oh, wow.
Played for everybody, didn't he?
Yeah,
Of course
Nicolas
he did.
Anelka. He scored 125 goals.
Scored for Bolton, didn't he?
Played for about 6 Premier League clubs.
Yeah,
For
loads.
Bolton.
West Brom.
Man City.
Why did I say Ginola?
Liverpool. Bolton. West Brom.
Arsenal.
Obviously,
Chelsea.
Arsenal,
Hull.
Chelsea.
He didn't play for Hull.
He wouldn't have gone all, mate.
Barnsley.
Barnsley, yeah. We could have had him.
So Omri is first with 175 goals and Nicolas Anelka has 125 goals.
Good as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably scored past you, you know.
Okay.
Anelka.
This is
100%.
question 6.
Question 5.
Right.
This is a question. Okay, we're going to go for it. Can you name a Ukraine player that has scored a Premier League goal?
Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Correct. There we go. Shevchenko.
I was
9
going to
goals.
say that, but I thought it was going to be something else. I thought
Yeah.
it was gonna be something
There you go.
more
That was just a
Deb.
new one. But
It's
we'll
good.
go for it.
I've been that shit, I've had to dive in.
Watto's
so
winning
often.
the quiz.
How
Watto's
much-
winning
How much
the
is
quiz.
what I won now?
2.
2-1-0.
2-1-0 with
2-1.
question 6.
Wow.
Still the way back.
Question 6.
This could be a good Monday morning.
Career path question.
Ben's in.
I have played for Manchester United, Royal Antwerp on loan, Sunderland twice on loan.
Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans. Is
Oh,
the
this is
correct answer.
pathetic, this is.
Get in! Get in!
West Brom.
And you two have been in his fan club on the show.
I know. Do you know what? Just as you said it, I was thinking, what we've just been talking about? Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
2-1, 4 to go.
Have you got one?
No.
All right.
I've
Horrible,
2-1
horrible when somebody keeps saying that to you.
If I come back and win this, yeah?
You
If I
still
come-
could.
Horrible when somebody keeps saying that to you. Have you got one? Have you got one?
Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Oh, yeah.
What is
favourite.
it? 2-2-0.
Believe.
2-2-0, 4 to go.
Yep. Question 7. What is the name of Ipswich
Portman Road.
Stadium? Correct. Correct. Watto's on fire.
Have you got one?
Watto is on fire.
Have you got one?
You know, if you've got Ipswich out without going Ipswich...
You'd have got it, you'd have got it.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
I didn't have a chance to hear the question.
That's how I feel some Monday mornings, you know. It happens.
You can only draw now. You've got to get the next 3.
Sound travel, you know.
But then it would go to a tiebreaker, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Ipswich are currently played 8, they won 7 and lost 1 in the championship.
second, aren't they?
They're
Yeah.
second, yeah.
Former Man United coach, McKenna.
Yeah.
He's might as well come to Paul McKenna. He's doing a great job. Magician.
Magician.
Question 8. The highest scoring match in the Premier League history ended in 7-4, but it was between which teams?
Portsmouth and Fulham.
No.
Tottenham and Portsmouth.
No.
Fuck!
I mean, sorry.
I wouldn't have even got Portsmouth, so I'm going to say Portsmouth and Southampton.
No, it's Bolton, isn't it?
No.
No.
It's Portsmouth and Reading.
Oh shit! Do I get out for Portsmouth?
No, you don't get.
Hey, come on!
No.
Just a half. Just a half to get me over the line.
No, Labs, it's tough here.
Right, I want you to win this, all right? So I need you to win this quiz because
How many questions?
2 left.
because I'm level on 2 each with Mark.
What is it? 3-2.
Yeah,
You haven't
3-2
got
now.
anything, have
So
you?
I need to get these answers right
Well,
here.
you don't listen to him.
You
for
haven't
that.
got anything,
He's
have
got
you?
nothing.
That's right, I don't care. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
care.
why you need to get one
I'm Team
right.
Watto. I'm just Team Watto,
You
okay?
need to get something anyway, mate. It's embarrassing. 0.
Yeah, fucking 0. Oh,
I'm
shit.
going to help you out here, all right?
I'd like Watto to win. Look, don't bother me.
Yeah, I know. That's really putting me off. You need to put a picture of this up. What I'm having to face when I'm doing this.
Sorry.
Awful.
He could bottle it like Newcastle.
Bullying.
Keegan. Newcastle
Yeah.
shirts here.
I'd love it.
3, 2, 0.
Okay.
2 questions left.
Question number 9. Who was the only German player to play Premier League football with Manchester United?
Schweinsteiger.
Correct. Schweinsteiger. Yeah.
My boy Bastian.
Well done. Well done, Ben.
I
Well,
was
so-
going to say Man City and I was going to go Rosler.
Uwe.
Uwe
He's good, he
Rosler.
was.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
I think
Had a
he scored
little-
past me.
He had a mullet, didn't he? Yeah.
It all comes down to this.
Question 10. To equalise it.
Come on. We got this.
We got team
Which
this.
Liverpool striker was voted PFA Young Player of the Year
Robbie Fowler.
for 2 consecutive years in
Neil
1995 and 1996? Robbie Fowler to correct.
Ooh!
It's a tie break.
Tie-break.
Have you got one?
I've got a tiebreaker.
Do I- am I allowed to get involved in the tie
You're
break?
out. Get out.
No,
No,
you're done, mate, aren't you? You're like Sheffield United.
Come on, come on. Don't lose this now. Don't melt, all right?
I'm in a tough situation here because I do want Watto to win, but I also know that you can't. You've got to be competitive.
Yes.
And he
Yeah.
won't respect
Don't be like the Miami Dolphins guy.
that. Yeah.
Go for it. Stand on that throat and just twist and turn, and that's
I
it.
know everybody at home's going. Watto.
Yeah, they're praying for me. I know that. Can I have a look at that? Go on anyway.
Question 11. Which former Premier League striker scored a hat-trick for Forest Green Rovers at the weekend?
Dini.
Yes!
Yes! There is a god! There is a god!
You still want to say what? The great thing about that is I have no fucking idea.
Yes! On a tie wreck! Fucking 4 answers, I'm fucking flying.
I might buy a lottery ticket.
Oh, mate, I'm doing anything today. I could do anything.
That's great.
It's good. It's good for the ratings.
Think of the content.
That's great.
I wouldn't have fucking got that last one. I wouldn't have got that.
Did you knew that one as well?
I knew that one. I did know that one, yeah.
There we go.
It was a good quiz, that. I enjoyed
Good
that.
quiz. Yeah.
And it was, I
I'm
think-
glad you got one.
Yeah, I'm glad I got one too. So
signs
far,
off.
the season totals are 2 to you, 2 to me, and 1 to Watto. You're back in the game, baby.
You can put a picture of that up now for
Yeah, we
next
changed
time.
that Watto from a 0 to a 1. By the way, looking at your name, Watto, spelled backward, is Otto. If you put an A at the end, it would be Ottawa.
Correct.
So football fill in. See you next week, everybody. See you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.